Hi guys, and welcome to Tilt the Twix. Today we've got a little bit of a long one for you, but hopefully you can stay with us. It's Parkinson interviews Bob Monkhouse. Both of these people sadly have passed away. Parkinson died in 2023 and Bob Monkhouse died in 2003 of, I think it was prostate cancer, and he actually, or they released, I think, public information films starring Bob Monkhouse about prostate cancer after his death. He'd actually filmed these for this. I did actually see Bob Monkhouse live years ago when I was a teenager, down at the Spa Pavilion in Felixstowe, of all places, and I thought he was absolutely brilliant, and ever since then I've liked this person. So we'll get into it as normal. Look in the description below for the original. Go over, give that one a like, give me a like, hit all the buttons, and let's get into this.
Final guest is the Grand Master of British comedy, 74 years old and still at it, so to speak. Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Monkhouse.
Thank you, folks.
Posh new bugs!
Posh new bugs.
Posh new bugs, I love that. Because you're talking about clubs, I mean, like you and Lulu, I mean, you worked at all those clubs, didn't you?
Yeah.
All those clubs.
Oh, the dregs. Some of those clubs. You did 2 shows, second show, same audience, different owner.
Oh, look, Peter Kay, and is that Lulu? I think it's Lulu. If I'm wrong, put it in the description below. But I think we've got Lulu and Peter Kay there as well.
So we'll talk about those in just a moment. First of all, I've got to say to you, you're a remarkable looking corpse. You're a goner, for God's sake.
I know. Well, the Sunday People said a year ago that I had the dreaded cancer, and from that I got over 3,500 wonderful letters.
Did you?
Which actually made Jackie and me weep because they were so wonderful.
Yeah,
so,
I bet.
They really were moving.
Yeah.
And that came about. I didn't know I had cancer for about a year, I think. I just got constipated, is what happened to me, and I tried everything I could to relieve that, and the doctor said, no, that's not going to work. Taking laxatives and things. Are you familiar with the term fecal impaction? And I said, I think I saw that with Glenn Close. Honestly, to God, you know what it is?
No,
it's a build-up of waste matter that you can't get rid of. And it builds up and builds up and builds up, and you just can't get it. It's like terracotta in there. So they said, we'll take you into the hospital in London, Princess Grace, and I was in and out. Princess Grace, they tried suppositories. I learned the origin of that old gag, knock, knock, who's their friend or enema? And but they just couldn't shift him. And I was, by that time, I'd been in Princess Grace more often than Prince Rainier.
What time is it?
A nice edit, nice edit.
Are you all right? The time here.
Lovely hospital. Posh new bogs.
Yeah.
They tried everything, and they couldn't. Then they gave me this incredible purgative, which they said would work in 60 minutes. Now, it takes my driver, Robert Purdy, about 1 hour and 10 minutes to drive me from London to my home in Bedfordshire. And I said, this is going to work in around about an hour. 34 minutes and 14 seconds he did that drive. And then they took me into the Sainsbury wing of the Northwick Hospital, which is in Harrow, and did some blood tests, because they couldn't understand why, you saw me last.
I didn't.
At Laurie Holloway's and Marion's.
You're a terrible stick. You're on sticks, for God's sake.
I was on sticks. I looked like a ghost.
Yeah, you shriveled and all that.
That's right, I was so puckered. And you heard me. Mind like a sewer, Peter Kay. You know, the first time I met this incredible man was, he was on the judging panel long before he was qualified for it, of new comedians up in Edinburgh, and I was hosting the thing. And I'd seen him on the Royal Variety Performance, and I thought he was sensational then. So I knew he was going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean,
You did.
He'd done one of the great comic minds. Really wonderful. I admire that so much. There's one or two great young comedians around. I think Dominic Holland's coming on so strongly. Milton Jones, who actually put me on the floor with a line of his when he said, oh, he's a great comic, he said, Italians, slanty little eyes. No, that's italics. Lovely. Great comic.
But going back to the illness, I mean, what happened then? I mean, what kind of treatment did you have? Did you have to have an operation, anything like that?
No. I never had. They said in the press I had chemo.
That's right, all that stuff.
None of that, because they said to me, "Well, you've got. Can I do a joke here about cancer?" Okay.
Can we stop here?
This is not to offend anyone who is struggling with cancer, but I find it there are two ways of looking at things. I can't stop the cancer. That's incurable, but I can control the way I look at the cancer. And I think the best way to look at it is see the funny side of it. So, inevitably...
That's a brave man, isn't it? You know that you're dying, but just look at the funny side of it. That is amazing.
When they told me my PSA, that's the prostate, my prostate had gone off like a firework and distributed all these tumours all through my system. They were all in my bones, back spine, about 40 to 45 of them I had. And so he calls me and he tells me this, the specialist. So here's the joke. I said, how long have I got to live? He said, 10. I said, what, months, weeks? He said, 9. Yeah, it's not bad. Anyway, he said, he said, okay, it's treatable. It's incurable, but it's treatable. Are you prepared to give, it's another response, but I swear to God I said this. He said, are you prepared to give up 50% of your sex life? And I automatically, I said, which half, talking about it or thinking about it? And he wasn't laughing. He said, this is serious. I mean, he was quite angry with me. And I said, I can't see it any way, except I worry about Jackie, what she's going to do if I suddenly pop off, but otherwise I can't see a serious side to this. So he said, are you prepared really to accept hormone therapy, which doesn't work for everybody, apparently, but it works for some. And they implant you with a thing called Zoladex, and it reduces your testosterone, on which the tumours feed. So I said, yeah, that's okay with me. He said, well, you know, it does mean that you won't be quite as potent. I said, you don't know me very well, do you? I said, I'm not worried about that, because as men get older, you do fear losing your virility. Of course you do. But there's all kinds of medical advances, like there's Viagra. There's little blue pills. Have you seen those? You don't use them.
No, Viagra, yes.
No. Not yet.
Well, in case your dear husband says, I'll try this. They're little blue pills. I think they would sell better as an ointment, but I'm not in the business.
But listen, gags apart.
Gags apart. They gave me the implant, and it worked like a treat. My PSA went from over 600 down to 0.1.
So, but you're not cured. You said that.
Oh,
it's
not
incurable.
cured.
But you're controlling it.
Keeping it at bay, keeping it suppressed, keeping it contained, as it were. Yes.
It's all part of growing old, isn't it?
Oh yeah, which is not a terrible thing. I'm not scared of dying anyway, because I'm not thinking death is a terrible thing. Well, the trouble is the next day you're so bloody stiff.
Have you ever thought, the one of the things you do when you go older, you imagine what they're going to say about you when you're gone, don't you? I mean, have you ever thought about the obituary? You know,
No.
Have you not?
No, because I think fame is a very ephemeral thing. Fame, I think, is maybe they'll remember you after you've gone. Maybe they don't. What use is it really, except while you're alive, to use as a tool to help people and help yourself? So fame is a very nice thing to have, but I don't think after you've gone it matters very much what they think of you, and so I don't think about it much.
David Frost, who said, how do you want to be remembered? He said, forever.
Yeah, I think never would do for me, because I think once I've gone, I can no longer function at what I love to do, which is make people laugh. And the only person who will remember me, unless I don't know whether Jackie and I will go. Will Jackie go first? Or will I go first? She smokes. I don't smoke. I got cancer. She doesn't have cancer. Yeah. So who will go first? So at the moment, it's sort of a waiting game.
But you're still working, you see. I mean, you're still vigorously pursuing your career, aren't you?
Oh, I couldn't stop.
Why is it a compulsion? Is
No, I
comedy a
think
compulsion?
It's what I'm for.
It's what you're designed for.
He has a brilliant attitude to life and to death, come to that. Amazing man, or he was.
Yes, yes. I was designed by nature, as this
it's
dear
true.
man is,
Yeah.
I think
and as
it's
this
true.
lady is absolutely born to sing,
Yeah.
and to rise above the problems in life, because you're always in control of your life as regards your attitude towards it. And you can have a positive attitude or you can have a negative attitude. So my attitude has always been, let me hear laughter and let me be the cause of it if possible. Although I'm laughing tonight in the dressing room, listening to Peter, just puts me away. And I'm so grateful for that laughter that I like to think people are happy that I can make them laugh.
But also too, I mean you're not a comic like, say, Les Dawson was a comic or Tommy Cooper was a comic.
Oh, no.
You're more if you like, a kind of a design comic. You design yourself, didn't you? You're a writer first of all.
Yes.
And then you learn how to perform. And you learn how to construct a joke and tell a joke.
Yes.
Didn't you? So with you, it's a kind of science, isn't it?
It's always been, it's better than doing crosswords or untying the Gordian knot, because you can't do that. But I listened to Peter when he did his one-man show at the Blackpool Tower Circus.
Oh, yeah.
You use story gags, like,
Yeah.
like you saw your friend running naked through the street with a girl on his back. Do that.
You know, that's an old joke.
It's a
though.
great gag.
There's a bloke, I can't remember it. What do you call a man running down the road? You tell it.
Okay. My friend's walking, he's running through the street, he's stark naked, he's naked and he's got a woman on his back. I said, where are you going? 'Cause he shouts a
Fancy
lot.
dress party.
Fancy dress party?
What else?
What are you going as?
A tortoise, this is Michelle. You see, it's
That's lovely. That's lovely.
But I do loads of jokes like, I love jokes like little...
He starts
you know,
off with story jokes like an old-fashioned comic, and then he slips into his lovely observational stuff. And I think that's a great technique. I think it's marvellous. It pays off.
You once said that stand-up comedy was like sex.
Well, I think it is. I mean, I used to watch the great Max Miller having it off with his audience, and
That's it, having it over the audience.
yes, and Doddy does it. He flirts with them. He builds that bridge, and it is like sex because you're romancing them, you're trying to please them, you're making sure they please you, which is it's a two-way traffic, and then you bring them to a climax and have a fag. You know, it's the most. I think it's always said that comedians are the most courageous, but I think of singers, and God knows I can't remember lyrics, so I'm terribly.
Neither can I.
filled-
It doesn't matter.
Thank God for the autocue. But I think the bravest people I ever knew were the special acts of the old variety days, and some of them were so marvellous. They really were marvellous. They were heroes.
Which
to
was
my
your
mind.
favourite? The one
There was a guy who used to do sword swallowing, and he saw some act in Europe swallow a neon tube. And he swallowed a neon tube. It was in your territory, Michael, in Barnsley, at the Barber Club.
The Barber Club,
Peter
Barnsley.
Castle's club.
Yes. That used to say Barnsley's gayest continental night spot.
That's right, I'd forgotten that.
In Barnsley,
This poor sod swallowed a neon tube, then switched it on, and it was sensational, the effect, because he'd normally swallowed swords. And it's the first time he'd ever done this. First time ever. And it was on the Sunday night, and he swallowed the tube, and it lit up, and it shone through. The people went crazy, and he took a bow out of force of It's a true story. And the wonderful part was, as they carried him off, the St. John guy carried him off on a stretcher, he was lying there, and he looked up and said, "Get a good bit of publicity out of this."
You see,
But it is a true story.
they will appear in Phoenix Nights. We'll
I'm
all
just
be there.
thinking about
That's
that.
your-
now.
Peter,
Next.
that's a lovely shade of lipstick, Peter.
Well, Bob, so, and finally, Robert, good to see you back in health, in
Yeah.
good
Great-
health.
great to be back.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, and good to see you working hard. And, Bob Monkhouse, thank you very much. Bob Monkhouse.
There we go, Bob Monkhouse. Sadly, no longer with us. An amazing comic in this time. As a teenager, I only really saw him on TV, and he was like a host to quiz programs and things like that. And then we got the opportunity to see him live, like I said, at the Spa Pavilion at Felixstowe, which totally changed my belief of him. He was amazing live, and I've loved the person ever since. And knowing more about him and his attitude towards life and towards death, amazing man, and very funny. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Give it a thumbs up and follow us over to the next one. Bye for now.